Hello, my name is Dr. Pascal James Imperato, and I am one of the curators of this exhibition, BUNDU, Sowei Headpieces of the Sande Society of West Africa. The other curator is my son, Dr. Gavin Imperato. Both of us have spent a very long time in Africa. I first became familiar with these masks when I was working in Africa eradicating smallpox over a 6-year period. These masks are the only ones that are worn by women in Africa south of the Sahara. So they are very unique, and each of them is slightly different in terms of the details on the mask because these details represent a variety of religious and spiritual beliefs and also convey the general notion of feminine beauty and modesty and adherence to moral values. These are helmet masks, which means that they're worn over the head, not just on the face, and generally they have a good deal of black raffia attached to the bottoms of them, and the dancers who perform the masquerades with these masks are generally completely covered, including their hands and their feet, so that their identity cannot be discovered. These masks are used as part of the initiation rites of a women's society that is found in 4 different countries: Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and parts of the Ivory Coast, but mainly concentrated in Liberia and in Sierra Leone. The society is embraced by different ethnic groups, primarily the Mende people of Sierra Leone, but also found among the Vai and the Gola of western Liberia, where I first encountered them many years ago. Young girls are initiated into this society in order to assure that they become wives, mothers, outstanding members of society, and to negotiate their role in the political administration of their towns and villages. Because in each of these places there is also a male initiation society known as the Poro Society, and both the Sande and the Poro work together, and the Sande Society provides a venue for women to exert significant political influence and administrative influence in their villages and in their towns. Here we have an extremely old BUNDU mask that probably dates to about the late 19th or early 20th century, and it incorporates all of the physical features that we find in these masks. First, it is a helmet, and it is topped by a bird. Now, snakes and birds are very commonly depicted on these masks because the snake does symbolize malevolency, and the bird also symbolizes connection to the spirits and the supernatural world. So the juxtapositioning of these two symbols, very commonly seen on these masks, brings together different levels of interpretation which are well known to the members of the society but may not be known to ordinary people who look at these masks. Now, each of the coiffures has symbolisms that represent the belief systems of the society members, which date back to many, many years. But the basic design depicts hairdos that were very common among these people in West Africa over 100 years ago, and which are no longer used by women. But nonetheless, these masks represent those very antique hairstyles. These masks are usually made for a given chapter of the society, and quite often after several years the society members decide on having a new mask made, and although the masks are used by women, the masks are actually carved by men. The sculptures are really very elaborate, very detailed, and truly remarkable when one considers they're being sculpted with very basic tools such as adzes, drills, and knives. Prestige symbols such as pith helmets that are depicted on these masks were very important to the peoples of Sierra Leone, especially during the colonial era, because they were the hats that were worn by the British administrators, and their representation on these masks is a way of people indicating that this is a power source and a symbol of authority and prestige, albeit one that is adopted from another culture, basically British colonial culture. Although the society is found across several countries, each town or village has their own chapter with its own leadership. And usually the leadership are women who are much older, who also tend to be local midwives and to practice herbal and spiritual medicine. So part of the initiation is to teach young girls and young women, depending on the age at which they're initiated, the secrets of herbal medications and spiritual rites that are geared toward helping people who are ill. The masks that appear here have been collected over a period of many years, some of them going back to the 1960s and 1970s, when I first worked with this society in Africa, and during the 1990s and 2000s by my son, who also was a physician and who also worked in West Africa.